Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah and I'm the style coach. Today is a much requested video all about how to wear yellow. When I asked you in a previous video when I did the colour trends for this season, a lot of you wanted the video on yellow, and it's something I've been meaning to do for a while because not only from your requests, but it's one of those colours that people seem to have a lot of trouble with. When I do colour analysis with people online or in person, yellow seems to be the one. Oh no, yellow. No, it's just something that people seem to stay away from. And there's really no need if you understand a little bit more about yellow. So I'm hoping to open up the world of yellow to you today so that you can make some good decisions and bring some sunshine into your life. If you are interested in a colour analysis for yourself or any of my other services, or indeed my online courses, which are all down below, please do get in touch. I would also like to say a special thank you for anybody who is supporting this channel by subscribing to it, liking the videos, or indeed sending super thanks, which I'm so grateful for. The price of a coffee or something like that can really help me keep this channel going and allow me to produce more videos just like this one. So if you can support the channel in any way through likes, subscribing, super thanks, I'm always super grateful. So what we're going to do today is talk a little bit about what is yellow, how do you recognize if it's cool or if it's warm, a couple of little tips that I can give you if you're out in a shop and you think, oh gosh, I don't know if that's cool or warm, some things that you can do in just a second in order for you to recognize if a yellow is cool or warm. I'm going to show you some examples from some drapes I've got on the wall behind me here. I've got some items of clothing from my own collection. Some of them work better for me than others. I'm going to tell you why, and hopefully by the end of this video you're going to know a lot more about yellow and how to wear it so that it works for you. The first thing to know about yellow is that it's a primary colour and it sits on the warmer side of the colour wheel. So if we look at this colour wheel here, we can see yellow up here, and the warmer side reaches from red all the way over to yellow green. They're all naturally warm colours. Now they can be made cooler, orange being a slight exception. And then on the underside of the colour wheel, all these purples and blues, even into green, not yellow green, is the cooler side. So if we have a look at yellow here, we can see that if we go in one direction, we go over to the green side, and if we go over to the other side, we're moving towards oranges and reds. So with that in mind, if we think about yellow and adding a little bit of green into the mix, or indeed blue, this is where we start to move in a cooler direction. So if we move over towards the greens all the way into the blues, we're moving in a cooler direction. That's what makes it cooler. If we move over the other direction, we start to add in orange or red, we get this lovely golden yellow. That's when we start to get warmer. But a good visual to have in your mind for a cooler colour, a cooler yellow colour that is if a colour becomes more acidic. So hopefully you can imagine what lemon yellow looks like. So if we imagine the fruit, a lemon, and we start to salivate, first of all, but we also think about this kind of moving into a paler yellow and something that has maybe a slight touch of blue to it, slightly green. Let me show you an example. So this is a good example of a lemon yellow, and this comes from the cooler families of winter. You could also put this into summer as well. And what does that look like in a garment? This would be a good example of a lemon yellow. Hopefully that's coming through all right on the screen. I know there's a very bright light on it. If I move it back, it might be a little bit better. You can see it's a little bit paler than what I'm wearing, and it's very much getting closer to this more acidic type of yellow. They're not exactly the same. That's okay. They don't have to be exactly the same. We just have to imagine this lemony colour within the yellow that's moving towards coolness. This is another example of a more acidic, actually moving into neon, and neon is another type of cool set of colours. So if you imagine those kind of highlighter colors, they are going to be cooler. So that's also something to keep in mind. If you know that you've got cool undertones, then neon colors will suit you better, probably more in the winter category because they're quite striking, they're quite intense. So keep that in mind. But something like this is cool. We can see a touch of blue in it. I hope you can see that too. A touch of green, definitely moving in the cooler direction. And our lemon yellow sits pretty well. It's starting to become more neon, the jacket here, but definitely on the cooler side. Let's compare that to a warm yellow. If we look on the wall here behind me, hopefully you can see the warmer yellows over on this side here, whereas the cooler ones are the ones that I saw you, those lemony yellows, the more acidic yellows on this side. So if we take this yellow here, which is almost turning into an orange, do you see the difference compared to what I'm wearing? This is more acidic than this warmer color. To imagine these warmer colors, imagine those when the leaves change in autumn or fall and everything starts to become this rich golden warm color. That is a warm yellow. We don't see acidic yellows during that time of year. So it's these kind of warmer tones that we see. And this would be an example of a brighter, clearer yellow from spring, still warm, possibly more neutral than this warm one from autumn, but definitely different to the acidic yellow that I'm wearing. So here's an example of a warm yellow. We're moving into this much more mustard shade of yellow. And if we use one of those warmer drapes and put it next to it, we can see how it's not exact, but it's pretty close. Okay, so it's getting that warmth in it. And again, compared to what I'm wearing, it is very warm compared to this cooler yellow. This is a top that I bought years ago and I've got a picture of myself in it and I'll show it to you. I'll put it up here. But you can see how dull my skin looks because I've got cool undertones. And before I knew anything about colour, I just thought this was something I bought in autumn, in fall, because that's what was around at the time. Those colours are offered to us, and that's where a lot of people make mistakes. They buy into that time of year. They buy into rust reds and mustard yellows and pumpkin orange and all these kind of colours. And that's great if you are an autumn person, but if you're not, it can go wrong. And for me, it just makes my hair look dull, it makes my eyes dull, it makes my skin dull. It really doesn't do much for me at all. So if you're still a little bit unsure about, when you look in the wardrobe and you think, gosh, I still don't know if this is a cool yellow or a warm yellow, a good little test to do is to get some gold pieces of jewellery and silver pieces of jewellery. Perhaps you've got a gold handbag or a silver handbag, but anything that is gold and silver, it's a good test to do this. So gold being part of the warmer family, silver being part of the cooler family. So when we put these next to each other, we put the cool silver with the cool yellows, they should feel like they belong together. However, if we put a cool yellow with a warm gold color, it feels disconnected, not harmonious. We always want harmony in our colors. Let me show you an example. So with the neon yellow jacket, which is cool, and our warmer mustard yellow, I'm going to test out what this silver looks like. Now it's kind of more of a gunmetal, it's kind of a muted silver. Doesn't matter, it'll still give us the same results. So if we place that on the acidic yellow, it looks pretty good. I hope you agree. However, if we put that on the mustard, do you see how disconnected it looks? Like it doesn't look like it belongs together. So that gives us a clue, if we're still not sure, that putting a cool metal onto our yellows will give us a good indication whether they belong to each other or not. I could do that same test with the drapes that are on the wall. So again, with the silver, placing it on the warmer colours, it just doesn't work so well. However, if we move over to the more acidic side, it's starting to be more cohesive. Let's do the same test now with a gold piece of jewellery. Now this is a little bit more delicate, so it might be trickier to see, but nonetheless we'll give it a go. Okay, taking our acidic yellow and our warmer mustard yellow, I'm going to place the gold necklace onto the cool yellow. And to me, that looks like it's sitting separate to the color. It doesn't feel like it's harmonizing with it at all. However, if we do the same thing with the warmer, do you see how well that blends? It just feels like it's melting into the color, and we know then we're looking at a warmer color. So that little test of cool versus warm is a really good one if you have some metal near you. So if you're somebody who is warm undertoned, most likely, not always, you're probably got some gold jewelry in your collection. Make sure to bring that out with you when you're shopping, or go through your wardrobe in the same way. This works for any color, by the way, not just yellow. Let's just do the same thing with the drapes here. So putting the gold necklace on top of the acidic yellow, not looking as good as the silver did. And then we put it on top of the warmer toned yellow, and it feels like it looks much better, much more complementary on the warmer drape. Another good tip for you, if you are out and about and you're in the shops and you have no gold or silver, let's say, and you pick up this yellow and you're thinking, I'm not sure, it's kind of neutral, which way does it lean? Sometimes it's hard to tell when you just look at one yellow. If possible, have a look around you and see if there's anything else that's yellow around you. Or indeed, a lot of shops will have jewellery for sale as well. Go ahead, grab a piece of gold jewellery or silver jewellery and do that little test that we saw. However, if they don't have jewellery and just other items of clothing, go ahead and get another yellow colour, something different, just to compare it. Sometimes we need that contrast in order for us to see the difference. So initially I might be thinking, yeah, I think this could be a cool yellow just by looking at it. However, if I went out and found a different type of yellow, now we pick up this one, we put them together, we can see the difference now. We can see how much more acidic this yellow is compared to this one. Whereas when we just look at something on its own, it's pretty hard to identify if you're not used to identifying cool or warm tone colors. So in summary, the warmer yellows, the ones that feel like they have a little bit more heat in them, so that could be a little bit of orange or a little bit of red in them, a little bit more heat, a little bit more fire. They will look great on somebody who is part of the autumn family, particularly if they are also deep in their features or possibly a little bit more muted in their features. The warmer muted yellows are going to work great for them. However, if you are part of the spring family, warm yellows also going to work well for you. But now you're going to be wanting to look for yellows that are a little bit brighter than the autumn family, like this one on top. You see the difference again. It's all about learning to compare and contrast and recognize colors. So it's still a warm yellow. You can see that compared to my top, which is acidic, and it's brighter than the autumn colors here. So if you are autumn and spring, you're looking for those warmer yellows. If you are part of the cooler families, which is winter and summer, then you're going to be wanting to look for those more acidic tones of yellows, the neon yellows, particularly if you're winter, the neons will work best on you. But you can see how much more acidic these are. The sweatshirt here at the front is quite a pale yellow, probably best for the summer. That jacket, a little bit brighter, even the yellow I'm wearing. You can see that there's a family of yellows here. They belong together. They're all cool. Their intensity is a little bit different for sure. Their value's a little bit different. That's another day. We'll talk about that. But for now, it's about recognizing cool and warm. In terms of pairing yellow with another color, I would suggest staying in the same family in terms of temperature with your yellows. If you're wearing the warmer yellows, pair it with a warmer purple, for example. Purple being the most obvious choice because yellow is opposite to purple on the color wheel, They're called complementary colours. They naturally go very well together. There's a beautiful example of a warm yellow turning orange almost, using this warm, slightly aubergine type of purple here. They go so well together. They look gorgeous. You're in the brighter side of the warm family, so spring. You'll be using this bright clear yellow and a periwinkle, also a great match for each other. They're both warm, they're both bright, looking really great together. From winter, you can see how a royal purple pairs really well with this bright acidic yellow. And from the summer family, we've got this gorgeous lilac paired with a paler, still acidic yellow. So you can see how staying within the same family of characteristics of colour can really help a wardrobe come together if you work with the same characteristics. That's why I always say to people, it's not just about the colours that are close to your face that make the difference. It's about building a wardrobe that works well together. So once you understand what you're looking for, everything comes together really easily. Some of my other favourite combinations of colours to wear with yellow would be, and I'm using the winter colours because I'm a winter as an example, but if you look at this acidic yellow with this bright fuchsia, how well that goes together. And I've even chosen my lip colour as a bright fuchsia today to wear with my yellow. This is a beautiful combination. It also pairs really well with this Chinese blue. Could pair it with a blue-green as well and start to use analogous colours. If you're interested in blending more colours, I do have videos on how to pair colours together. But analogous colours simply mean the colours that sit together on the colour wheel. So for example, you would have yellow, yellow-green and green. They sit beside each other. They are analogous colours, but they just go so well together. Today I've paired my yellow top with black trousers because I'm part of the winter family. Black is in my colour palette. And the trousers have this kind of pewter stripe down the side which ties in nicely with the yellow colour. So let me know if this video has helped you understand yellow a little bit more, and maybe it's encouraged you to go out maybe and buy some yellow or take the yellow out of the wardrobe and either make a decision about whether to wear it, or maybe you know now that it doesn't work for you and perhaps it would suit someone else better. That's it for today's video. I do hope you enjoyed it and learned something new, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Take care.